السلام علیکم.
جی السلام علیکم قدرت اللہ صاحب، بس 2 منٹ میں شروع کرتے ہیں، ٹھیک ہے؟
ماشاء اللہ، جزاک اللہ جی، جزاک
میں
اللہ.
نے کہا آپ کی ایک تجویز تھی تو بہرحال میں نے کہا اس پہ ایک اچھی شروعات کر لیتے ہیں، پھر دیکھتے ہیں
جزاک
کہ
اللہ
اس
جی.
کا کیا جو ہے
آئی ایم
جو بھی اس
گریٹفل
کا
جی.
ایک
آئی
اچھی
ایم گریٹفل سر. آئی ایم گریٹفل. آئی ایم گریٹفل. اللہ تعالیٰ آپ کو صحت دے، خیریت ہو.
آمین. بس میں نے کہا چلے ایک اچھی بات ہے، آپ نے ایک اچھی تجویز دی، گو کہ میں تو کافی چیزیں اس وقت آن لائن کر بھی رہا ہوں.
جہاں مجھے پتا، میں دیکھ رہا ہوں آپ کا.
ہاں چلیے، میرے خیال میں ہمارا ٹائم ہو گیا، تو آپ تلاوت سے قدرت اللہ صاحب شروع کریں. 4-5 لوگ ہمارے آ گئے ہیں تو پھر شروع کر لیں.
چل ٹھیک. اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم. بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. والتین والزیتون وطور سینین وہذا البلد الامین. لقد خلقنا الانسان فی احسن تقویم ثم رددناه اسفل سافلین الا الذین آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم اجر غیر ممنون فما یکذبک بعد بالدین الیس اللہ باحکم الحاکمین. صدق اللہ العظیم.
جزاک اللہ جی، تھینک یو ویری مچ. ایک کوئک ہم راؤنڈ آف انٹروڈکشن کرتے ہیں. ہمارے پاس اس وقت کوئی 7 لوگ کنیکٹ ہے، تو میرے خیال میں سب سے گزارش ہے کہ اپنا تعارف کرے، پھر ہم شروع کر لیں. 1 بائی 1 ان میوٹ کرے، اپنا تعارف کرے اور پھر میوٹ کر لیں.
انجینئر انوار الحق جی، سول فرام راولپنڈی.
اچھا جی، انجینئر انوار صاحب جی.
انجینئر قدرت الاسلام راولپنڈی.
پروفیسر رفیق فرام الامام یونیورسٹی سعودی عربیہ، ریاض سے.
جی رفیق صاحب ویلکم. میرے خیال میں ہمارے ساتھ ایک اور صاحب بھی ہے، کوئی انوار الحق صاحب بھی آگے. اچھا جی، اس کے علاوہ فیصل ظہور صاحب بھی ہے. آئی تھنک ہی از کنیکٹڈ، شاید وہ بعد میں آ جائے. اور ہمارے پاس سمرو صاحب بھی ہے. سمرو صاحب، کین یو انٹروڈیوس یور سیلف؟ چلے تو فی الحال ہم شروع کرتے ہیں. آئی ہوپ کہ باقی لوگ ساتھ ساتھ ہمیں جوائن کریں گے. تو مائی ریکویسٹ یہ ہے کہ ایک تو انمیوٹ کر لے، اور اگر کوئی ضرورت ہو تو پھر ہم اپنی جو ہے کیم کو بھی آف کریں تو زیادہ اچھی کوالٹی آف سٹریمنگ ہو سکے گی. اگر کیمرہ کی ضرورت ہوگی تو پھر ہم آن کر لیں گے.
بالکل درست ہے سر.
تھینک یو سر.
اچھا میرا وہ آن ہو گیا ہے.
اچھا چلے جی، سائمہ آپ ابھی میں نے دیکھ لیا تھا آپ کا نام. ہاں چلے، سائمہ بھی ہمارے ساتھ ہے. ہاں چلے سائمہ اپنا تعارف کرائیں، پھر ہم شروع کرتے ہیں.
سر کتنے لوگ ہیں؟
ہمارے پاس کوئی 7-8 لوگ ہیں، لیکن آئی ہوپ کہ کچھ اور لوگ جوائن کر لیں گے. بہرحال ہمارا سلسلہ شروع ہوگا. آئی تھنک وی آر اباؤٹ 7 or 8 پیپل میرے سمیت.
جی 7-8 ہے.
ہاں تو ٹھیک ہے، ہم شروع کرتے ہیں. لیٹ اس سی. اینڈ زیادہ تر میں چاہتا ہوں کہ ہم کچھ ڈسکشن بھی اس میں کر لیں. ٹائم چونکہ زوم پہ 40 منٹس کا ہوتا ہے، تو ہم پھر ایک دفعہ شروع کریں تو وی ہیو ٹو موو فارورڈ. ابھی تک یہ ہم فری کا کر رہے ہیں، دیکھتے اگر یہ کوئی زیادہ ضرورت ہوئی تو ہم پھر بڑے اسکیل پہ اس کو لے جائیں گے. چلیے، تھینک یو ویری مچ. آئی ایم ریئلی گریٹفل. ایز اے میٹر آف فیکٹ قدرت اللہ صاحب ہمارے ساتھ ہے. وی ہیو بین ڈوئنگ دس CPD workshop very regularly in the Institute of Engineers almost every weekend. And then for some time, due to the COVID-19, we have this problem that somehow the social distancing has forced us to be away from each other. And then Qudratullah Sahab, who is a veteran engineer and one of the very old member of the Institution of Engineers, he proposed that we should start with some online workshops also. So this is a matter of fact, a start of it, and we would request Dr. Rafiq Chaudhary is here. So if he would like to give some talks online, we would like to increase the number of people, and we would try that we bring many more people to at least benefit from the experience of each other. The background is that we started with this project procurement series, and initially we delivered a lecture on the project procurement cycle and also about the PEPRA regulations and the proposed 2020 amendments, which is in the process, and had there not been any COVID-19, I think it would have been approved. But anyhow, the 2020 amendment of the PEPRA is available on the website of the PEPRA, and anybody who wants to see and give their feedback would be welcome. I have given a couple of feedbacks to the person, Mr. Rafiq, I think, who is dealing with the PEPRA revised version. So my request to all of you is to visit that, and if you can find some improvement and you can suggest some improvement, that would be appreciated. We then had another lecture on the contract management, and most of the important factors are classes we discussed, which included some of the FEDEC important classes. Today, for a brief half an hour, and I would like that we could take also some discussions. We will go for the consultancy appointment or employment of the consultancy, which in many cases we assign the role of the engineer in the projects. So in this case, in this particular case, I would go through this these slides, and then we will discuss a couple of things. Okay, so the procurement of the consultants, which is one of the major role of the engineers in Pakistan in the project procurement offices, that there are normally 5 types of procurement methods which we normally deploy in Pakistan. The first one is quality-based selection. The second is quality and cost-based selection. The third one is least cost-based selection. And the fourth one is fixed budget selection. And the fifth is single source selection. So before we go into the detail, a brief about all these 5 procurement methods. That quality-based selection is normally employed in areas where we have very highly specialized work, and where the quality is the sole consideration, and where there cannot be any substitute to the quality. Therefore, the quality is given 100% marks, and we don't compromise on the quality. So we don't trade off between quality and cost. As a matter of fact, and whoever is giving the best quality, we give him the prices, or them the prices which they demand. But certainly this cannot be adopted for every work, because the quality is a very, kind of subjective matter. So normally for projects of international and national significance, like if you are going for a monument or some very extraordinary project which is very important for the nation or international level, then definitely you would go for the best quality, and you will invite the quality only, and the competition will be done based on the quality, and whoever will get the best quality then would be accepted. But certainly there would be a screening process, and there will be a high-level committee who would determine the quality. And this committee must be comprised of people who have the professional, the professional expertise of dealing with the quality and deciding about the quality. But certainly the quality may not be the 100% a priority everywhere, because if we go for the quality, then definitely the prices we pay are very high normally. So then the second option is that trading between the quality and cost, and that is called quality and cost-based selection, in which we assign certain weightage to the quality and the remaining weightage to the cost. And this is most of the time we give in normal consultancy services, which we do in the ordinary works in universities and even in other institutions, government departments. We are going for the quality and cost-based selection. Now, the normal scaling which we do is 70 to 30, but it can be decreased or increased based on the quality requirement. Normally, we assign 70% weightage to the quality and 30% weightage to the cost. And then we also established that there must be some minimum passing marks for the quality. Now, the assessment of the quality and the technical parameters of the proposal of the organization is certainly a very difficult job, and we will discuss in the later slides. And now for the rest 30%, we are giving the weightage, the cost, and certainly the firm who will be quoting the lowest price will get 30 marks out of 100. But certainly the quality marks will be determined based on the quality parameters of the team. And we will discuss some of these parameters in the later slides. The third is, which is normally done for small projects where the scope of work is very well understood, and we believe that there cannot be very big variation in the quality. Then we go for the least cost based selection, in which only the cost. So in this case, the quality is not given any weightage in the sense that we believe that the shortlisted consultants have almost the same level of quality, and we decide the procurement of consultancy based on the lowest price. Another option is a fixed budget selection, and this is again done for normal projects where we have already some fixed money, and we invite the bidders and give them the scope of work, and then we solicit the bids, and then the cost is already fixed, and whoever is the best amongst the bidders are the consultants. Then we select them and we give them the fixed price. But certainly we will discuss that it's very important to give the various distribution of this fixed cost. And then finally, the single source selection. This is normally for 2 or 3 cases of procurement. Number one, where we have the intellectual property having with one person. For example, he may be having a very good artwork, and this artwork may be available with only one person, and that person may be having the patent and registered patent of that. So you don't have any other option except going to that particular source, and you procure the services of that particular person or firm. And sometimes we want to go for the repeat orders. For example, if we want to, the PEPRA gives us that within 15%, up to 15%, you can enhance the services with the same source which is already being selected. But normally the single source selection, our direct contracting is normally in situations where you have a very valid reason to go for the single source. So these are the 5 very common methods, very approved methods, but the most common method which we employ in the procurement of consultancy services in the government department is quality and cost-based selection, in which we first of all evaluate the quality of the firm, and then based on that we see that the firms who have already been qualified based on their technical score, then we come for the financial bids, and then we cumulative score is determined, and based on the cumulative score we see that who is the best amongst the participants. And some of them may not be even qualifying the technical bids, and they may not be having the quality threshold which you have defined for the procurement. For example, if our passing score is, let's suppose, 60 or 70% for the technical parameter or quality standards, then definitely the firms who are not securing the threshold marks of 70% are not included in the next phase of bidding, that is opening up the financial bids. So based on that, then we finally determine that how the best score is got, and the firm who is got the maximum score, cumulative score, that is the sum of the quality and cost will be determined, and then that is called the most responsive and lowest weighted bid. So the quality-based selection, we discussed that it is done for a very exceptional work where the complex assignments are there, and where quality is the only factor taken into consideration. So normally, I'll not go into detail because we discussed it, but we assign the TOR for the requirement inputs from the consultant, and where the downstream impact is so large that quality of the service are overriding importance. So the quality may be the sole important consideration in the decision making, and in this case, certainly the employer or the procuring agency would be more interested in the high or best quality. So the procedure is that we expression of interest is sent into the newspapers, and then we uh, uh, get the bids and we evaluate, and then based on that, the technical proposals which are received are evaluated by the technical committee, which again should be comprised of highly technical people who are relevant to that particular task. And then based on that, we see that who is the top and second and third. And the highest rank proposal is accepted. So the proposal who is getting the highest marks out of 100, because there is no quality, the cost score, the whole score, 100% score is given to the quality. So the firm which is getting the highest marks is ranked at the top, and then we go to see their price. But certainly we don't have, we cannot negotiate the price, because this price, which is for the highest ranked proposal, is to be accepted by the firm. This is a flow chart. I think it will be not very visible to you, but initially we have the preliminary screening, and those who are not coming, we reject them, and then we go for the TOR to those detailed evaluations, and those who are not getting the required score, we reject them. And the third is then we evaluate those who are getting the passing marks, and the highest ranked firm is then selected for the consultancy procurement, and the price whatever the firm has offered will be accepted. The second, which I already submitted, that this is the most common method we employ in the public departments, the government departments, for the engagement of consultancy services, in which the quality and cost is trade off, and normally the ratio of 70 to 30 we normally deploy. But if we have a very high level of quality, for instance, if the quality is of prime importance, then definitely you can increase the score of quality to 80 also. But certainly in this method, you have to keep some weightage for the cost also. So the procedure is more or less the same, that you invite the bids, and you issue the request for proposal, and the evaluation is done. The technical evaluation is done first, and those who are getting the required marks are then taken to the next phase of the financial proposal, and a combined evaluation of technical and financial proposal shall follow the applicant, with the winning proposal will be accepted. So certainly we will later on see an example that how do we do it in the real life. But certainly the firm which has got the maximum marks, which is the cumulative marks of both the technical and financial, will be given the consultancy assignment. It is used where high quality is the prime consideration, while cost is a secondary consideration. Since under quality cost-based selection, the cost of the proposed service is factored in the selection, this method is appropriate when the scope of work can be precisely defined, the TOR are well specified and clear, and the procuring agency and the consultant can estimate with reasonable precision the personnel time as well as other requirements. So this is very important. This again is the flow chart. Sorry, it is not very visible, but certainly we have the same steps, the preliminary screening, that we go for the detailed evaluation, and then we see that those who have got the passing marks of technical score, we go to the next level of financial evaluation, and then we determine the combined score. And the combined score, the firm who has got the maximum cumulative score is then awarded the consultancy. The third one is the least cost selection, and as I discussed a few moments earlier, the least cost is in which only the cost is given the 100% weightage, and there is no weightage for the quality. But it does not mean that the quality will not be considered. What we normally do, that the initial screening, we try to bring the firms which are capable of doing their particular assignment, and once we bring those firms through the initial scrutiny, then we compete amongst them, we create competition on cost base. So it should be very clear that it does not mean that apple is equal to mango, or apple is equal to banana, but certainly you should have a screening process before we go for the bidding process, that the firm we ultimately screen out must fulfill the minimum requirement of quality standards. And once we do the first phase, and we believe they are the firms which we have screened out, have the ample capacity to deal with the quality, we need, then we go for the second stage, and the second stage is basically the price competition, and the firm which will be getting the minimum price will be given the consultancy award. And this is, we have been doing this kind of bidding in smaller projects like design of some houses, design of some small blocks, in which we are very clear about the scope of work in the consultancy. So normally we have been doing this for small consultancies, but certainly where you have a bigger consultancy like the establishment of a faculty block, which also involves a lot of design parameters, and you have a lot of quality standards to follow, then definitely you would go for the quality and cost-based consideration. So the evaluation of technical proposal and opening of financial proposal, often the lowest evaluated prices shall be selected for discussion on the technical issue if deemed necessary. So this is again very important, that even at this stage, you can establish some minimum technical score to qualify. Maybe their score is not given the weightage, but certainly their score be the minimum score, which can be, and this we are doing for many projects, small projects and medium projects in Karakoram International University, that we first of all see that how many of them have been qualified, and then we in the second stage open their financial bid, and the firm which has offered the lowest price is then selected. So again, the quality is there, but the quality is not given the weightage in the sense that there is a benchmark of quality, that the quality score must be, let's suppose, more than 70% or 60%, and any firm which is not getting the quality score of the base benchmark score, then that will not be included. Then we go for the financial consideration and we select the lowest bid. So this is only appropriate for selection for very small assignments of a standard routine nature where well-established practices and standards exist. The request for proposal shall define the minimum qualifying marks for the quality. This I have already submitted. That even if we don't give any weightage to the quality, that does not mean that the quality will not be the consideration. We do consider the quality score, but certainly the score is not given the weightage as we are doing in the case of quality and cost-based selection. So the technical proposal will be opened first and evaluated. Those securing less than the minimum qualifying marks will be rejected. So there is a benchmark, there is a baseline for the quality score to be achieved. So again, the same more or less that we go for the scrutiny and then detailed evaluation, and those who are not getting the passing marks are rejected, and then we open the financial bids, and the firms which is having the lowest price is then selected for the procurement of consultancy. The single source or direct selection is, I have already discussed that in cases where we have highly intellectual property and where the patents are with only one person and the work is of very unique nature, and where we believe that it cannot be made available with more than one person, then definitely, or more than one company, then definitely we would go for single source or direct selection. And this method will be used only in exceptional cases where it provides clear advantage over competition in the following cases: for tasks which are natural continuation of the previous assignments. For example, some of the design components which you have earlier designed from a consultant, and as a continuation of that major consultancy service, now you want to design, for example, the landscaping of the adjoining plot, which is part of the original building, then definitely you can go directly and negotiate with the firm, and this should be the natural continuation of the existing project. The second is the repeat order. I discussed that up to 15% of the original scope of work you can give the repeat order. For example, you are designing 100 houses from one of the consultant, and somehow you want now to design another 15 houses as a natural continuation of the project, then you can go for this. But certainly the limit should not be exceeded, and that is 15%. Because if the limit is more than 15% of the original scope, then certainly you would go for a fresh tender and fresh bidding process. In case of the emergency, yes, if there is some requirement in with the consultancy, for example, in COVID-19, the health department in GB and the health department in federal government has done a lot of direct consultancy services from different consultants in case of emergency, and there is a well laid down procedure in which a committee will be constituted, and the chief financial officer and a principal accounting officer of the firm will approve, and they will justify the nature of emergency and why this procurement is done through direct procurement or direct single source selection. So all these evidence and justification must be placed on record to see that the delay in the decision would lead to some problem. And this normally we have in the case of endemics, pandemics, and the epidemics, and all these floods, and this kind of situation in which we cannot afford to go to the market for the bidding process, which may further devastate the situation. There only one consultant is qualified and experienced of exception work with reference to Class C public procurement, and that is about the intellectual property rights, that only one consultant has that capacity, and the consultant has already patented the design which you need. So these were the now just clear. Within next 5 to 10 minutes, the terms of reference is the document which is prepared for client by the client for the for soliciting the. It normally includes the scope of services for the consultant, estimation of consultant inputs, that how the consultant inputs would be required, proposed cost of services, method of selection of consultants, standard form of condition of consultancy contract, which is available in the PC bidding documents, various form for making proposal and contract. So there are different forms, standard formats which are available. Sorry, I'm just coming from my exercise. I normally go for 1 hour exercise from 10 to 11, so I had not taken my tea. TOR document for consultancy contracts are synonymous with the bidding documents of construction. So these are more or less the same things which we come to the consultancy services called TOR, a term of reference, but in the contracts we call it bidding document or contract or tender document. TOR documents to seek technical and financial proposal. Although preparation of TOR is client activities, however, understanding by the consultant such activity is imperative for correct analysis. कुदरतुल्लाह साहब, मेरा ख्याल है कि हमारे टाइम भी कोई ज़्यादा नहीं है, तो ये कुछ आगे स्लाइड्स मैं आप लोगों के साथ कुछ शेयर कर लूँगा. If we can have some questions, because we are left with 10 minutes. तो अगर कोई डिस्कशन प्रोफेसर रफीक चौधरी साहब भी है, और हम चाहेंगे कि इस सिलसिले में रफीक चौधरी साहब भी हमें कुछ ना कुछ लेक्चर्स का सिलसिला शुरू करे, और बाकी भी जो हमारे दोस्त थे, anybody who would like to aid.
Thank you very much, Shah Sahab. It's great pleasure to listen to you and hear. I just opened the computer today morning and I saw email showing the link for this online seminar. So I thought let's put other things, set aside and join the seminar. So it's a pleasure to listen to you, and after a long time to see you. So inshallah, I will be, sharing some topic with you. I will send by email, and then you can send on the IEP, link. So if people will be like, some people will be interested to join. So we will continue, inshallah, with your this effort. I think it's a good initiative these days that we should start learning. Because here I would like to say something what we are doing here. So from 9th of March, the university, everything they say, okay, everything will be from home, So university has they call it a Blackboard or a learning management system. So the next day, just, today on 9th of March, so 10th of March, next day we start lecturing online, So we are, whole semester we are doing a lecture online and exams online, quizzes, assignments, and midterm exam, final exam. So every day I have, a lecture to online, but semester is nearly going to close. This is the last week for the semester. Thursday will be the last day, and then next week, 2 weeks for the exam. So inshallah, I will send my topics to you, and you will, we will contribute inshallah. Shah Sahab, please open your mic.
Thank you very much. Actually, this is a tough time for all of us. We are also experimenting the online education, but unfortunately, we developed a very good LMS and everything, but unfortunately, the connectivity of the internet in the Gilgit-Baltistan is not very good. We are still in the 3G type thing, and again, some more than 70 or 60% area of the Gilgit-Baltistan is still not accessible. So we are doing a blend of online and offline and different kinds of things, but certainly it is a big challenge for us to do the online education in Pakistan and in the remote areas particularly. And secondly, today we have, I think, the third or fourth Vice Chancellor's meeting online to see that how can we go for the online education, because the biggest challenge is the connectivity and the quality of internet. But certainly we would be interacting with you also to learn from your experience, because this is a tough time and we don't know that when the university is going to open. And for us, certainly the university and the classes and everything is very important for our survival. Qudratulla Sahab, over to you. If you want to add something, we are left with 5 minutes to complete.
Open the mic, please.
हाँ, कुदरतुल्लाह साहब, आपका माइक मैंने म्यूट किया था, अनम्यूट किया है. You can continue now.
बात यह थी कि आपका मैं इसलिए शुक्रगुजार हूं कि आपने मेरी रिक्वेस्ट के ऊपर ये शुरू किया है, और ये बहुत इंफॉर्मेटिव, बहुत यूजफुल ये. लेकिन थोड़ी सी प्रॉब्लम बाकी आपने जिस तरह कहा है, ये कनेक्टिविटी की उसमें बड़ी आ रही है. टीवी पे बता रहे हैं कि लोगों को बड़ा, लेकिन शुक्र है कि हमारे यहाँ बड़ी आसानी से ये हो गया, और बहुत अच्छा आपका लेक्चर था और बड़ी इंफॉर्मेशन मिली है. आई एम ग्रेटफुल.
में सर हम इस तरह करेंगे कुदरतुल्लाह साहब के, ये तो आज हमने एक्सपेरिमेंटल बेस पे किया है, तो आगे मैंने इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंजीनियर से कहा है कि हम जूम की होस्टिंग लेते हैं. ये कोई इतना मुश्किल महंगा नहीं है, पूरे साल के $50-20 देने होते हैं.
ठीक है.
और हम ऑनलाइन सर्टिफिकेशन का इस तरह है कि जो हमारे पास 1 घंटे के उसमें आता है ऑनलाइन, और वो फ्रॉम स्टार्ट टू एंड अवेलेबल रहता है, तो उनको हम 0.5 CPD का जो है वो सर्टिफिकेट भी ऑनलाइन.
वेरी गुड आइडिया. दिस इज द मेरा भी यही था पॉइंट.
एग्जैक्टली, ताकि इसके अंदर एक वैल्यू एडिशन भी आ जाए, लोग इसको सीरियसली भी ले, और जो लोग आए तो उनको एक वैल्यू भी इसकी मिले. दूसरा मैं ये सोच रहा हूँ कि आगे जाके ईद के बाद इंशाल्लाह अगर जिंदगी हो तो हम इस पे वर्कशॉप, सेमिनार्स भी शुरू करें, कॉन्फ्रेंसेस भी शुरू करें. कि मिसाल के तौर पे इस वक्त कोविड-19 के पर्सपेक्टिव में इंजीनियर्स का क्या रोल हो सकता है. आगे की जो दुनिया है वो बड़ी अजीब सी और बड़ी डिफरेंट सी दुनिया होगी, तो इंजीनियर्स क्या करेंगे उसमें, और इसका जो सोशल इंजीनियरिंग
का किरदार क्या है,
क्या होगा, इस पे भी हम चाहेंगे कि इसके बहुत सारे एस्पेक्ट्स है. सोशल एस्पेक्ट है, हेल्थ एस्पेक्ट है, फाइनेंशियल एस्पेक्ट है, और एक इंजीनियरिंग एस्पेक्ट भी है कि किस तरह की चीजों को आगे. आपने देखा कि फॉर एग्जांपल वी ऑल ऑफ अ सडन रियलाइज कि हमारे पास तो वेंटिलेटर्स ही नहीं है, लेकिन फिर अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमारे इंजीनियर्स ने मिलके बहुत सारे डिजाइन जो है वो बनाए और एक पीसी को दिए, और उस पर भी काम हो रहा है. तो मेरे ख्याल में इस वक्त भी दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी ह्यूज इन्वेस्टमेंट R&D की, मैं कल देख रहा था, कल मैंने अपलोड किया है R&D के दुनिया में सबसे ज्यादा इस वक्त जो इन्वेस्टमेंट हो रही है, इससे पहले भी वो तकरीबन 30 to 35% ऑफ द R&D इन्वेस्टमेंट हेल्थ सेक्टर में हो रहा है. उसके बाद स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी है, उसके बाद रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी है, और उसके बाद नेचुरल रिसोर्स.
डॉक्टर साहब, पाकिस्तान में जब ये हेल्थ के और एजुकेशन का 3 और 5% था, ना होने के बराबर.
मैं देख रहा था कि जो अमेरिका में पर कैपिटा R&D इन्वेस्टमेंट है वो इस वक्त $1300 से भी ज्यादा है, 1400, जो हमारे टोटल पर कैपिटा इनकम के बराबर है. यानी अगर आप दुनिया में देखें तो 1243 बिलियन. तो इस पे भी हमें काम करना होगा. वी नीड टू डू के आगे जो
ये
आने
हेल्थ
वाली
सेक्टर वाज नेग्लेक्टेड थ्रूआउट द सिंस इंसेप्शन. 1947 से ही हेल्थ
इंशाल्लाह
सेक्टर
इसको हम हमें अच्छा है, रफीक साहब ने भी अपनी कंसेंट से भी हम और हम चाहेंगे कि कुछ बाहर से भी हमारे स्पीकर ऑनलाइन हमें ज्वाइन कर ले. रफीक चौधरी साहब हमारे बड़े मोहतरम दोस्त हैं, गुड फ्रेंड, और
माशाल्लाह बहुत अच्छी बात है.
सलाहियतें दी है, तो इनकी सलाहियतों से हम इस्तेफादा करेंगे और हम चाहेंगे कि इसको फॉर्मलाइज करें.
वेरी गुड आइडिया सर, बहुत अच्छा.
शाह साहब एक प्रपोजल है कि अभी इस महीने का मेरा ख्याल है मैंने डोम का वो पे किया था $15 उन्होंने, मेरा ख्याल प्रोबेबली मंथली था ये, तो मैंने इसको ज्यादा यूज नहीं किया है. एक दिन जो है ना वो जस्ट उसमें हमारे सिस्टम में प्रॉब्लम था, तो उस दिन फिर मैंने जो है ना इसको अल्टरनेटिवली जो है ना वो जो है ना इसकी पेमेंट की थी $15 ना. तो मुझे प्रॉब्ली 1 मंथ के लिए है ये, आई एम नॉट श्योर. तो मैं ये कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि आपके जो नेक्स्ट 2 लेक्चर्स हैं वो मैं जो है ना वो आपको ये
नहीं, वो अच्छा है. अगर ऐसा कोई आपके पास अभी वैलिड है तो आप हमें दे दें. हमारा अभी इस लेक्चर में भी बहुत ज्यादा पार्ट रह गया, क्योंकि अभी एक मिनट हमारे पास रह गया है, उसके बाद ये बंद हो जाता है.
हाँ, तो फिर मुझे अब किस तरह इसको मुझे अभी मैंने यूज नहीं किया इसको, तो कैसे करना होगा अभी इसको दोबारा से?
आप इसको जो आपको लिंक उन्होंने दिया है यूज के लिए वो हमें भिजवा दें. हम उससे फिर होस्ट के तौर पे अपना ईमेल, हम ये वाला अपना लिख लेंगे या आप लिख लेंगे हमारा ईमेल, तो आईपी का ईमेल लिख ले, क्योंकि ये नॉर्मली थ्रू ईमेल. डॉक्टर साहब ये थ्रू ईमेल ऑपरेट होगा. अगर आपने ईमेल अपना लिखा है तो किसी और ईमेल से ये ऑपरेट नहीं होगा. आपको इसके उसमें जाके ईमेल पर हमारा लिखना होगा, तब जाके हम इसको एक्सेस करेंगे.
नहीं, वो इस तरह होगा ना, जब ये मीटिंग करते हैं ना, लेट्स से कि मैं आपको अभी अगर आप लॉग आउट करेंगे तो मैं अपने वाला ओपन करके आपको आपकी ईमेल पे
हाँ ठीक है, ये भी
करोगे तो
ये भी
करोगे ना, उस वक्त फिर आप होस्ट बन जाएंगे.
आप होस्ट बन जाए. आप जब नेक्स्ट हम करेंगे